to be a big shot.
There's just nothing I can do.
Do you mean took his own life?
Sorry, ma'am. You heard the verdict.
Verdict? A man takes a hammer and bashes in the back of his own head, then he lays down on the tracks and kills himself?
We merely act on the verdicts. We don't make them.
Do you pay or don't you?
Read the policy, ma'am. It clearly states
All right, good evening, Source Nation. How you doing? If you are familiar with that little sound clip you just heard, that was an excerpt from the movie Malcolm X by Spike Lee. I think that came out in 1992. This was a scene where Malcolm X's mother was trying to redeem the life insurance policy for her husband, Malcolm's father, after he was killed down south. And so I thought it was kind of apropos to kind of play that clip because we're going to be in that vein tonight. But anyway, like I was saying, good evening to you. And once again, I want to wish you a very good evening. I want to wish you great blessings in health, family, love, career, success, spiritual progress, and accomplishment of your dreams. Source Nation, we're going to get intellectually intimate tonight. And before we get started, get your coffee, your wine. If you have water, you can sip that or turn your water into wine. If you have incense, you can light that. And don't forget to pass me my shoehorn so I can put my foot all up in tonight's topic. Make sure you share the link with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, and other social media platforms. I am your host, Dr. Samori Swygert, a.k.a. Doc Swag, and I want to welcome you to The Pendulum. That's the name of the show. Now, you say, what is the pendulum? A pendulum is an apparatus that people associate with the clock that helps gauge time and space. It traverses through time in a constant backward and forward motion. Some will say retrograde to anterograde. This is what we'll be doing throughout the show as I engage in topics. I want you to make sure that you connect the dots from the past, present, to future. This show is designed to encourage the 4 Ds of debate. 4 Ds, debate, dialogue, discussion, and discourse. Gather your friends and family as we prepare to travel from the past to the present and have discussions of future implications and projections with the correlation of African Americans. From the world to the White House to the hood and everything good, the pendulum is swinging your way. Now, tonight's topic will actually be in an interview with a very good soul sister, a very good friend of mine doing her thing, a business owner, sole proprietor. She goes by the name of Miss Yolanda Spivey. Now, she owns Michael Whitney and Associates, and it's an insurance company, life insurance, and they offer a lot of other good services that you probably want to partake of after you finish hearing this dialogue. I want to say this, too. The warm and inviting candor of this sister, coupled with a nurturing spirit, is going to guarantee a complete, well, let me not say complete, a thorough understanding of life insurance that is digestible. It should remove the fear and the mysticism and uncertainty of life insurance and make you want to make sure that you do some research and see about getting yourself a policy for yourself, for your family, because this is a tool, is a financial instrument that a lot of people are not taking advantage of, and other people are propping themselves up financially fit for the future. Now, we're going to take a little break, and we'll bring her in so that you guys can hear all this good stuff that I'm talking about, and I want to make sure that we can get this knocked off because I know at 9 p.m., New Edition Part 2 is coming on, and I know everybody wants to see Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. But anyway, let me make sure we go to break, all right?
We're going to use a lot of colors on this one, so hope your ears are attentive. The colors of love. High life, drop it. Where are my markers? Who has my crayons? What about my spray paint? And where are my watercolors? Thank you. Where is my easel? And where's my ink? I need my colored pencils. Now where's my smile? Let's paint. Where my paint? Where my canvas? Need some color to understand this. Black magic, black queen, black love, that red, black, and green. Kinda freaky like 50 Shades of Grey. Stay with me when them skies are gray. Get you open like it's Black Friday. On a pitch black night. On that TLC red light. On a red eye jet blue flight. I hop a yellow cab just to see you right. Black hair, honey brown thighs. Black beauty, a looking sick like pink eye. Think I get sad when I can't hear her voice. Get kinda blue like I'm turquoise. No, I can't have it, ma. Got your boy blue like I'm Avatar. Kinda blue like Coltrane. Keep you kinda wet with my purple rain. Phone boning over Bluetooth. Blackberry sexting a personal truth. Bedroom movies. Better than Blu-rays and Redbox. Private scenes. We perform better than Redbox. It ain't bad luck, cause I love black cat. Love your brown sugar like a white flying gnat. Need your pink cookies like a late night snack. Soldier of love and I got a purple heart. Gotta taste your rainbow so I need to play my part. Got a green thumb for your secret garden flower. No time for them yellow belly cowards. She's full body like a red wine. She's full body like a Malbec. She got a lot of cake. And I love her red velvet. Chewing on you like a pack of Big Red. A bag of blue funk like Heavy D said. Like yellow grits, good girls are hard to find. So I take my time like I'm sipping fine wine. So fine that I've gone colorblind. Cover you like Blue Cross Blue Shield. No white lies, I promise to keep it real. Natural colors, no need to mascara this. And she got long green like asparagus. Gold medal. Purple ribbon loving. Wave a white flag. Blue balls got me bugging. Black women come in beautiful hues. Make sure your lady never ever sings the blues.
All right, welcome back, Source Nation. Thank you for staying. All right, we're going to have a good show tonight. I'm going to bring in my guest for the evening. Her name is Miss Yolanda Spivey, and she is the owner of Michael Whitney and Associates Life Insurance. Yolanda, how are you doing?
Hey, doctor, how are you?
I'm good. I'm doing good. All right, good. Wait, don't come in here with your bedroom voice, okay? I heard that. Silky.
Oh, snap. Stop. You're going to get me in trouble. Stop.
Okay, no, I'm not going to get you in trouble. But are you going to watch the New Edition Part 2 tonight?
Oh, yes. Part 1 was so good. Oh, my goodness, so good. Yep.
Took you
I'm
back.
definitely going to do it. Mm-hmm.
You know, in the spirit of New Edition and BBD, I wrote a song for you, too. Can I sing a little something for you? Something for you?
Yes, you can, please.
Girl, I must warn you, you need some insurance in your life. Come on. Things can get deadly. Need something for your kids and your wife. Come on. Michael Whitney. No, that's
Yo, I'm going to put that on my Facebook page. That was epic. I like that, man. That was a nice little rhyme.
Everybody's like, oh, he's on crack tonight. But no, everybody.
Nah, man, that's just you, Doc.
But anyway, changing gears on a more serious note, I really want to make sure that I had you on the show because life insurance is something that a lot of people don't take advantage of, especially when we talk about the African-American community. Many of us don't understand it. Many of us, because we don't understand it, we run from it. But, you know, many other races, they take advantage of it. And so it's time that we really get hip to the game. So I was like, you know, let me get somebody in here that is heavily involved in this and can shed some light and then make it so that we can actually become participants, you know, in this dynamic we call life insurance. So real quick, I just want you to tell people the name of your company one more time and give them your social media handles and your contact info first.
Yes. So the name of my company is Michael Whitney and Associates. That's Michael Whitney and Associates, and you can reach me at www.mwhitney.com. You can also email me at yspivey@mwhitney.com. You can reach us at theblackInsuranceNetwork.com. Social media, we're on social media, Facebook, just look up Michael Whitney and Associates. Twitter. I think it's MWhitney7. I think it's MWhitney7. But if you look up Yolanda Spivey, I'm there, and you can connect with me there as well.
And she spells Spivey, S-P-I-V-E-Y, just so everybody knows, with the E. Okay, now, with that out of the way, real simple, because we don't want to make it complex for people. We want people to understand so they can take advantage. Can you just briefly tell people what is life insurance?
So basically, life insurance is a product that will cover you. Well, it's used for many reasons, but it covers you just in case you pass away. So when you pass away, money is dispersed to your beneficiaries to help bury you and also to give them some type of cushion to live off of in the event of your demise.
Okay.
Yeah,
now
that's the basic layman's term for it. So, yeah.
All right, let's break it down even simpler. Now, you said beneficiaries. For people that are not listening, who and what are considered beneficiaries?
So beneficiaries are people that you love, or maybe you don't love, that you just leave the money to in case something happens to you. And some people, a beneficiary can be anyone. It could be an institution. You'll be shocked, Doc. Some people leave their money to, like, hospitals and schools and universities, things like that, after they pass away. So.
Okay. All right. Can you tell us why is life insurance? Why having life insurance? Why is it important? Why do we need this? Why are we even having this conversation?
Life insurance is important because if you have a family, you do not want them to be without in case your income is missing from the home. And you just want to make sure that they're okay. There are too many people who go into complete despair when the breadwinner dies and nothing is left for them to live off of. So life insurance sort of adds that extra cushion and protection for their family. And also it's important because you don't want your loved ones to bury you in like chaotic conditions. People don't, they pass away, they don't have life insurance on themselves, and the next thing you know, their loved ones are holding GoFundMe campaigns and fried fish dinners and Kool-Aid stands and things of that nature just to raise money to bury them. So, instead of, like, having that happen, get buried in dignity and get a policy that will cover you so that you guys can be set.
Right. You don't, and you don't want to be buried in a grocery bag,
That has happened, Doc.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it has.
Oh yeah. I got some stories.
Another way, I can. We're going to get to those stories too. I can also relate to life insurance, the importance and how we can apply it in something that's even simple for people to understand. We can think of people like we just think of what's going on with these police officers, the police shooting.
Mm-hmm.
You had like Eric Gardner. Well, he wasn't shot, but he was choked out. You had Philando Castile. You had all these young black men that have died in the hands of law enforcement. Now, if they had insurance policies, then whoever they had listed as a beneficiary, they can now receive some type of, they will keep, I guess, will be a sense of financial normalcy, where it's like the household budget and income isn't really shaken up and things aren't disturbed. Am I correct or am I off?
No, you're absolutely correct. And in some instances, it could make the household a little bit better. You know, when I look at Eric Gardner, for instance, he was out there selling cigarettes. I'm pretty sure the brother didn't make that much money in his living life. But just imagine, and I hate to say this, but just imagine if he did have a life insurance policy that was in excess of hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm pretty sure his loved ones would have been a little bit better off knowing that, you know, something was sitting there for them to take care of them while they deal with the mess of burying him and the media and all that other good stuff. So.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you this question, too. I hear people saying, this person is going to have like $1 million life insurance policy. Now, how does that work? Does a person, do they pay $1 million into it? Like, do they need to have $1 million up front to get the policy, or how does that work?
No, they don't have to have $1 million up front to get the policy. So, of course, the insurance company is going to go by their age, their health, and they rate them. So the determining factor on how much your charge is your age, because of course the older you are, the more your insurance is going to cost. Okay. So people, they do get these $1 million policies, but believe me, Doc, they are paying for these $1 million policies. Okay. So after getting rated, they have the option of paying monthly, yearly, quarterly, however they want to pay the policy, and so they're not paying the $1 million up front. And also, it depends on what type of policy you get, because if it's a whole life policy, it is expected that you'll have that $1 million saved towards the end of your life, plus a little sum. Yeah. So, yeah, if the policy gains interest, dividends accumulate on it, it is assumed that, yeah, you'll have like $1 million sitting in the account. If it's a term life policy, no, you don't get anything. It's just, you know, the term life is for a short period of time, for that term period, and if something happens to you within that term period, your beneficiaries will get that $1 million. So that's how that works.
Okay, well, let me ask you this question. With a term limited policy, right? Let's say for that certain period of time that you had, let's say maybe it was 20 years maybe. If nothing happens to me within that 20 years, what happens to all the money that I've been paying into that policy?
Nothing. It goes right to the insurance company. So insurance is like in case something happens. You know, there are policies called return of premium policies where you can get your money back if nothing happens to you after the term period. So it all depends. Yeah. But for a traditional term policy, nothing. You do not get, you gain nothing. But it is a great way to insure yourself if you want a large amount of insurance on yourself. And it's penny on the dollars. Penny on the dollars. Yeah, I invite people to call in and get a rate over the phone if they want.
And listen, people, very serious about this. This type of stuff, people charge for consultation. This is free information right here from somebody that does this every day, day in, day out. So make sure you take advantage of that. Matter of fact, let me give the number out in case people do have questions. Phone number, area code 619-924-0933. I repeat, 619-924-0933. Now, back to Sister Yolanda. Now, Yolanda, I have another question. Now, you said these different types of policies. Is there a specific type that people should try to get? Like, should they go for the term? Should they go for the lifetime? Or how should people know which one to go for?
Yeah, see, this is what I educate people on all the time because they get so confused. They're like, what should I get? I'm so confused. I don't know what to do. So I tell people to get what is right for them, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Get what's right for you. Of course, we all want $1 million whole life policy. That is everyone's fantasy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But when they see that premium payment, they'll go running the other way. It's expensive, okay?
All right, now
it can get
pause
expensive.
real quick.
Yes.
Pause real quick. Explain what the premium is, what the premium payment is, so people know, the terminologies that they work with.
Yes. So the premium payment is the amount that you pay on a monthly, quarterly, or yearly basis for the insurance.
Okay. All right. So everybody heard that. That's your premium. Now I want to ask you another question too. When we talk about paying this monthly or quarterly premium, right? They have assessed me. They looked at my age. They have assessed me, ranked me, rated me, whatever, and they give me a quote for my premium. They say, Mr. Samori Swygert, you have to pay $300 a month. Does my premium increase at all, or is it locked in for a lifetime of the policy, or how does that work?
Well, with the whole life policies and also term, it's usually locked in for the length of the policy period. So it really goes. It doesn't go up or down.
Okay. No. So they get it like fixed.
Right, it's fixed. Now there are some term policies that increase every 5 years. That's something for a total different conversation. But on a traditional term policy that has a set amount of years, the premium stays the same, and for whole life, the premium stays the same for the rest of your life.
Okay. All right. Now, I want to know, so I know there's goods and there's bads, of insurance, life insurance. Tell me the goods that you see about life insurance. Like, how does that work? Well, let's not do that. Let's not do that yet. Tell me how life insurance has enriched other races over centuries versus us as African Americans. What have you heard about? What have you known, historically speaking, when it comes to race, life insurance, African American? What do you know about that?
Okay. Well, first of all, I think the majority of a lot of white people that we see walking around have benefited from life insurance. Okay, their families have saved money, invested in policies over the years, and then turned it over to their grandchildren. And their grandchildren essentially got rich off of these policies, and they were able to go in, build businesses, and do all kinds of things to enhance their family's lineage. Okay, with black people, that story is not too. Our story is not fair when it comes to life insurance, and we discussed this before, where I told you that black people at the beginning of the century, they were really hip to life insurance. They wanted it. And so they would take their hard-earned work money and invest in these penny policies, which were like burial policies, used to only bury them. Right. And sometimes they would get jerked around by these racist insurance brokers. These racist insurance brokers would take their money for many, many years, skip town, and if something happens, they'll never pay out on the proceeds of the policy. And it devastated our community, and it also sent a chill up our spines where we felt that, hey, if we get insurance, we're going to get scammed. So a lot of black people, in some instances, stayed away from life insurance, and that's why you do see us when we get buried and we're begging other people for money or, help, asking the community to help us bury our loved ones, because it's because of what we were conditioned to. It's not like we didn't want to buy life insurance. We tried to buy life insurance back in the day, but we were unfortunately scammed. And the difference, too, is a lot of the agents back in the day, they used to go from house to house and collect premium payments in a with paper money or with cash. They didn't people didn't pay with checks or credit cards and things like that, which would have kept a ledger or some type of a proof of payment, a receipt.
Because this is back in the day, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. It's back in the day. You thought that your insurance person was honorable, and they came out with their little books, recorded. Okay, Miss Smith, paid 10 cents on her life insurance policy. Okay, I'll see you next month, Miss Smith, and go on. And Miss Smith thinks she's okay. But then if Miss Smith dies and her beneficiaries try to collect on it and call the life company, they'll say, oh, well, Miss Smith stopped paying on this policy, 10, 15 years ago. It just was just a big mess, just a big mess. And there were some other instances where black people were turned away from the insurance companies themselves. If something happened, like if they had a life insurance policy and someone lynched them, as we heard in that Malcolm X clip, okay, the insurance company will say, well, we can't pay out on Mr. So-and-so's policy because he committed suicide. And you're like, no, wait a minute, he was lynched. That's why he's hanging from a tree. That was not self-inflicted. They don't want to hear it. They used to deny our claims left and right. So the insurance industry as a whole left a bad taste in black people's mouth. And it took a long time for us to come from, we had to repair ourselves in order to accept insurance again. And we're on that path. They can't do that anymore. It's a brand new day. They cannot do that. And they know they can't do that. So, and there are honorable companies out there that will never do that. So it's a brand new day, and black people, we really need to get back in the game and start investing.
Honorable companies such as Michael Whitney and Associates, right?
Of course. Of course. Yes.
Okay. Okay, real quick, because I know some people just tuned into the show. Once again, thanks for tuning in. This is The Pendulum on Source Radio Network, Source Nation Radio Network. I am your host, Dr. Samori Swygert, a.k.a. Doc Swag. This is The Pendulum, and I am interviewing Miss Yolanda Spivey. She is the owner and proprietor of Michael Whitney and Associates Life Insurance Company. We're talking about life insurance tonight, people. Now, Yolanda, I have another question for you. So we talked about premiums. We said premiums are what you pay every month or every quarter or yearly to meet, I guess, your financial obligation to keep your life insurance policy active. Now, tell us, what happens if you don't pay your life insurance bills?
Oh, my goodness. You lose out on your money. I've seen this time and time again. If you don't pay your bill, you lose that money that's sitting in the policy. Of course, it's going to take some time, probably like a good 3 months, 90 days. But you lose out on your policy. All that cash value sitting in there and all that good stuff, you lose out. They will just, they don't pay you back. They don't send you a check for that cash value. So there are some policies, though, that I sell now that are called no-lapse policies. No matter what you do, the policy will never lapse. It will stay in place for the rest of your life. The only thing is the face amount of the policy, which is the amount you took the insurance out on, will reduce. So say, for instance, you take out a $250,000 policy, and you're paying on it for like 10 years, and all of a sudden you just got tired of paying on it. I shouldn't say that, but say, for instance, you have financial hardships, and you couldn't pay on it any longer. They will then reduce the face amount of that policy instead. So that $250,000 will go down to like maybe $50,000. But, hey, you still have a life insurance policy in place.
You still have a life insurance, right.
For the rest of your life.
Okay, that's good. Now, here's a question that we were talking about before. So you have a policy holder, which is like if I decide to purchase a policy for myself, and I name, if I had a child, I named my child as the beneficiary, the only beneficiary. Right? That's the only beneficiary I have in my policy. What happens if, let's say, I die, but also my child dies? What happens to that money? Does it go unclaimed? What happens with that money?
It can go unclaimed. If there are family out there who do exist, they could claim the money as well too. This is
even
why
if they're not a beneficiary.
Even if they're not a beneficiary, they can claim the money. Yes, because it will go to the next of kin. So it's like having like a bank account. Yeah, it will go to the next of kin. So this is why it's important to name a contingent beneficiary, and we talked about that. And that's when your beneficiary passes away. If something happens to them, a second or third person will be named in addition on that policy to receive the beneficiary, to receive the money from the policy. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, it just goes to the next person. It'll keep going down to the next person.
Now, I want you to tell me about how parents, now some parents will put life insurance policies on their kids where they can cash out as young adults or something of that nature. How does that work?
Oh, yeah. They're like a traditional whole life policy, for instance. And some of the index ULs, okay, there are so many products out there, like it's unbelievable, where you could actually save for your child's college education or for their first home, for them to open up a business when they get, there's so many policies out there. Oh, but I will talk about whole life for time's sake, okay? So say, for instance, a parent does open up a nice-sized whole life policy for their kids when their child is first born. By the time that child is like 18, 20 years old, there should be a significant amount of cash value sitting there that the child can borrow against. And I know I had a boss one time. She worked she had a State Farm agency, and I admired this woman so much. And I asked her one day, how did you open up this agency? And she told me that she cashed out a policy that her parents had set up for her when she was a young, a little girl. And I said, what? And, this was a sister, too. This was a black woman. And I'm like, what? Her parents actually used a life policy to finance this sister's business. And let me tell you, her business was thriving, okay? Sister was making, I believe, $1 million a year. She had a great business. So, there are many instances like that where you as a parent could really set your child up for the future with a life insurance policy. Life insurance is not all about death. That's another thing that we have to get out of this thinking, is that it's about death. People use life insurance as an investment tool or as a savings mechanism. There are many ways that you can utilize life insurance policies to live off of. So it's not necessarily for death. Yeah.
So you're telling me Samori Swygert can get married, have a little Samori Jr., and when Samori Jr. Samori Jr.
I want to see that day come.
He's good. Woo. He ready
I need
when
some
Samori Jr.
Okay, go ahead.
But I can put an actual insurance policy on Samori Jr. so that when he is 18 or 21, he'll have a little cushion for himself to operate as an adult.
Oh, yeah. I have one on my son. As soon as my son came out, I was at work. I put a policy out on him, and a lot of people thought that was weird. No, I insured him because I hope that when he turns 18, he can use that money to open up his business. That's what I would like for him to do. To invest in something, to invest in his future.
I want you to do a podcast, and I want you to do a podcast, and I want you to name the podcast Pacifiers and Policies, so that these parents know that they can do this. And that just came up off the top of my head.
Yeah.
So, but people, they need to know this. A lot of people don't know about this type of stuff.
Wait, you said pacifiers and policy, and I am going to do that. I think that is wonderful, Doc.
Yeah.
You have some good
ideas later on. I'll collect
Okay,
the
cool,
premium
cool.
later.
Okay. Whatever. $1. Okay, what?
Oh my goodness. But
crazy.
But here's something else too that a lot of people don't know about. You were telling me that people that are the policyholders of some life insurance policies can actually get paid dividends for owning a life insurance policy. Is that correct?
That is correct. And that's how the insurance grows. See, in a traditional whole life policy, most times the company will pay you dividends because in whole life policies, the policyholders are mutual owners with of that insurance company with other policyholders. So anything that the company makes over and beyond, they give it back to their policyholders in the form of dividends. And dividends allow your policy to grow even more on top of the interest rate and on top of what you already put into the policy as the form of premium payments. And dividends will allow your policy to grow over and beyond the face amount of the policy in some instances. So you have the option to either cash out your dividends every year, because dividends are paid quarterly or yearly. So you have the option to either cash them out. Some people take those dividends because they get thousands of dollars in some instances. And they go on vacation. They spend it on Christmas presents. I mean, you shouldn't do all that. But, but they use the dividends as a form of recreation for themselves. So it's a good way to, have some extra money sitting, have some extra money to do the things that you would like to do, vacations and stuff like that. So.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
now, I want you to share with the audience the story you had told me. You said you had a friend that was in college and he had a roommate. And you remember that story you was telling me?
I certainly do. It was one of my clients, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this just happened the other day. So one of my clients, he called me. He got some life insurance. But we were talking about just the insurance and everything. He said, Yolanda, what really impressed me about this life insurance is that when I was in college, I had a roommate who was a white boy. And one day he was like, okay, guys, I have to go because my grandfather had left me $1 million in his will, and he also left us a house. And he was like, what the huh? He's like, yeah, he had some life insurance for us, and he just left that behind. So I'm going to go to my lawyer's office right now and sign off on the papers to collect it. And my client said he was blown away. He was like, who do stuff like this? I'm like, white people.
Oh, man.
So he said that amazed him because he had, at that point, he's from South Carolina. He had never heard of anything like that before, and it really amazed him. He was like, wow. And so, I mean, there are many instances of this happening. I had a white friend named Matthew who, I knew since we were, in high school. And he never knew his father. Matthew grew up in a trailer park, okay? And his father died one day and left him all this money that he had no idea about. And this boy went off to school and just became somebody. I don't know what he's doing right now, but I just remember that he maximized that money and put himself through college, and he's the CEO of some company now. He's doing very well. So there are instances where, people use life insurance to better their lives. Look at Master P. I know a lot of people claim that he got his money in the hood, on the streets, but the reality is he claims that his grandfather, gave him $10,000 from a life policy, and he was able to build his empire. He was able to buy tapes and make his music on those tapes and subsequently sell it from his car and built a $250 million empire. And this is something that we have to start doing for our lineage. We have to start thinking in that manner so that we can leave them something. Just imagine, Doc, if we left everybody $10,000. If we left everybody just and $10,000 is not a lot of money, okay? But just imagine what could happen from us leaving our lineage $10,000, what they can turn it into. Because, Black people, we're very innovative. We can turn water into wine, So we can, literally.
Well,
but no, just like, What,
$10,000 is actually the amount that's preferred when you want to start investing. That's what they would like you to really start off with, $10,000.
Exactly.
You can, stocks and bonds. Most mutual funds would love for you to start with $10,000. So that $10,000, that is a functional, workable sum of money. So,
yes, it is.
Yes, you're correct. Now, we heard enough about this college kid. I want to know, well, the audience wants to know, what services does Michael Whitney offer to the public?
We do it all. I call ourselves, we are your one-stop shop insurance brokers. So you can come to us for virtually anything you need, from auto, home, life, health. If you have a business and you need insurance on that business, professional, you have a trucking company, whatever you need, we got you. In addition to life, all types of life products. In addition to retirement, if you are interested in our retirement packages, 401ks and Roth IRAs, we have it all. We are setting ourselves up to be a complete financial service to the black community, and we're almost there.
I do want some more payback from the cyber liability nudge I gave you too. Yeah.
Let me tell you guys, Dr. Samori told me about cyber liability, and I always knew about it, but I really didn't think about it. But he told me, look, you need to do this because people are hacking into the hospital's database and blah, blah, blah. And sure enough, when I started to sell it to my clients, they bought it. And I was very shocked. So I do owe you $2.50, and I'll PayPal that to you tonight.
I cannot message you.
What's your PayPal, Addie Boo?
I cannot message you. All right. Okay. All jokes aside, here's another serious question that people probably want to know, because I've seen enough America's Most Wanted. I've seen Snapped. I've seen all these do you know who you were married to, who the hell did I marry type shows.
Yeah, my favorite shows, yes.
Oh, I got to be careful with you. Can people take out life insurance policies on you without you knowing? Because, people were getting murdered, back in the day, and, they were collecting their life insurance. What's up with that?
Okay, now, that's the thing. Yes, back in the day, people would, put out a life insurance policy on you, especially if they knew you were sick, or if they just wanted to kill you down the line. We've seen plenty of those stories happening. But at this time, in this period of time, the insurance companies became hip to the game. You cannot just take out a policy on just anyone. People used to insure the little gang gangbangers and drug dealers in their neighborhoods. Back in the day, you can't do that anymore. A person must have an insurable interest in your life in order for you to take out a policy on them. An insurable interest is if they pass away, that means that it will be a hardship on you and your family. That's what that means, an insurable interest. So, yes, I can get it on my husband or my boy, my boyfriend, maybe a live-in. I can get it on my wife, my children, even my grandparents and my mother and my father, but not for someone who will not bankrupt me if they pass away.
Okay.
And it's very hard now because you have to have all that person's information, and on top of that, you have to have them sign off on that policy when you take out a policy on them. So it's kind of hard to take policies out on people these days. It's hard.
All right. Well, I think you have a caller question that called in the queue. Caller with the last four digits, 8643. So he had a call or comment for Yolanda Spivey.
Yes, hi. I do have a question. Thank you for taking my call. Yolanda, my question to you is, if I took out a policy with you and I'm healthy, all of that good stuff, and then shortly thereafter I passed away, how does my family benefit? Would they just get the premiums that I would have put into it, or how would that work?
So it depends on what type of policy you had taken out, but for the most part, no. They don't have to wait. They will get the face amount of the policy that you had taken out on yourself. So if it was like $1 million, $250, whatever, $500,000, they will get that amount if something happens to you after a short while of you passing away, after taking out the insurance policy. But there are policies, and I must tell people this because they don't know, there are policies where you have to wait 2 years after that policy is established. If something happens to you within the 2-year period, your beneficiaries don't get anything. They'll just get back the premium payments that you have paid into the policy. But if something happens to you after that 2-year grace period, then you're all good. They will get the face amount of the policy.
Oh, okay. And I also wanted to make a comment because I was listening earlier, and I remember when I was a young girl how the insurance man would come to my grandparents' house every week, and they would give them cash money. And when they passed away, there was nothing. They got nothing. And years later, me being an adult in my 30s, there was a lawsuit that came out. And even though my grandfather was living, so I took the policy, and I think at the most they got maybe $3,000, but they paid from the time I was young on to when I was an adult. And at that time, he was working for the railroad station, so he was actually making decent money, and all they got in return was about $3,000. And the family had to bury my grandparents because they got nothing from the insurance.
That is so unfortunate. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
That is so. I wish that we could have sued for a lot more. And your story is not unique to our community, unfortunately. This has happened to thousands of us, where our grandparents have paid into policies and could not, get anything from it when they passed away, or their beneficiaries couldn't. So I'm so sorry, sister, that happened. It's a brand new day, though.
Yes. And also, you all insure everything. I heard you mention businesses as well.
Everything, sister. Yes, we have everything you can think of. Like, you can come to me and get everything you need for your household. You don't have to go anywhere.
Okay. Rental insurance as well?
We sure do.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. Great, because my daughters are renting, and I told them that they needed to look into getting rental insurance.
Oh, it's so important because if anything happens, if they have a fire, you know the insurance company will pay for your butt to stay in a hotel until your rental dwelling is fixed. That's something that people don't think about with rental insurance.
Oh.
It doesn't just cover your belongings. It covers everything. For you to stay someplace else, they pay for your food, lodging, and everything. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
If somebody sues you, if someone sues you because they say you hit them or whatever, your rental policy under the liability section can cover that suit for you. So many problems.
Wow.
We just don't know. Yeah. Oh, yes, sister. Yes.
Okay, so
one
more question, if I can ask. One more question. Okay.
You're being greedy.
How great are your deals compared to those well-named like State Farm and all of that, Nationwide and all of that? How, as far as your rates for a car, home, all of that, how do they compare with what's being offered out there with the other companies?
They are very competitive. I mean, I have some clients who come to me and they are saving hundreds of dollars. One of my clients, she saved $300 off of her homeowner's policy, and she was amazed. She was like, that's ridiculous. There was one person who I quoted, and she could not believe my rate was so low. She didn't take the insurance because she thought I was a scammer. That's how low the rate was. Yeah.
Wow.
I started laughing. I was like, whatever, sister, go on, be at peace. But the rate was real. I told her the policy is legit. I do have reputable companies that I work with. They just have decent rates for people. Yeah.
So are you finding that a lot of the black people are reaching out to you now?
Oh, yeah. A lot of black people reach out to me, and the first thing they say is, I want to buy black. And so that makes my heart glad. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Well, thank you so much for taking my call. I do appreciate it, and I love this show, and I'm grateful for you answering my question.
Oh, you are welcome, sister. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Nice. That's what I'm talking about right there. Good exchange of dialogue and information right there. You just informed that sister. So now we only got a few minutes left, so I'm going to do a lightning round with you of questions before we go.
Okay.
I'm thinking of the year 2001, and I'm thinking of the date September 12th, the day after 9/11. If I was an insurance company, would I be in bad shape or good shape? What say you?
You would be in bad shape if you were an insurance company. Bad shape. As we know, that's when the towers fell as a supposed act of terrorism. And I'll just put that out there. But what my conspiracy theorists have an ass. But there were a lot of claims that were it devastated some aspects of insurance, like especially with property insurance, because the Twin Towers is not the only thing that had fallen down. I mean, people's lives were lost. On top of that, a lot of property that was underneath the Twin Towers was lost. Cars, just think of it.
Around
cars.
it.
Yeah, just, I mean, everywhere.
Other businesses that were damaged. Yep.
Yes. And so I'm pretty sure that people were putting out claims. There was a point where State Farm, for instance, pulled out of the state because there was so much claim activity. It was overwhelming them, and they could not take on any new policies. So they pulled out of the state.
All right. Next question. I'm thinking of the financial crisis of 2007 into 2008. Now, that's when a lot of people, the stock market went down, a lot of people lost their jobs, people went bankrupt and everything. Do you think that life insurance companies, was that a good, or was that a win, or was that a loss for insurance companies, life insurance companies?
That was a big, fat win. And the reason why is because the government helped bail out some of those banks and things that those financial institutions. So they started charging insurance on every little thing. You saw mortgage companies, they charged insurance on mortgages and things of that nature. Like, no one really charged insurance on mortgages before, but insurance companies made off like a fat rat during that time. So they were very secure.
And also, I would say because of the fact that many people, they're paying their student loans, probably car notes, credit card debt, paying their rent or their mortgage, property tax. They probably, and then once they lost their job, they probably didn't have any money to pay for their life insurance premiums. So eventually they probably had their policies canceled, and the insurance companies kept all that money. If they've been paying this for decades, 10, 20, 30 years, they keep all that money and not have to pay. They're not obligated.
Correct.
And they're not obligated to pay anything.
Yes, sir.
So that's some. Now, last thing, just so people can make it relatable, what about life insurance and Michael Jackson, Tupac and Biggie? It sounds conspiratorial.
Conspiracy theories.
But if you could real quick.
A lot of people ask that question all the time, do these celebrities have insurance? Just like your job have insurance on you when you go to work there. These celebrities do have insurance policies that are given to them by the record companies. Now, they don't own it. The record company owns it. And Michael Jackson, for instance, when Michael passed away, the record company made they made billions, of dollars in insurance from Michael. And the reason why is because he was on tour at the time. So some of the policy stipulations were if he was injured, or sick, or even died during the policy period while he was on tour, they would get X amount of dollars. So believe me, when Michael passed away, those record execs made billions from his death in insurance. So anytime you see a celebrity on television, if they're even on reality TV shows, and they have insurance policies on them. They actually have policies on their lives. If you see them, in a movie or at a special special, after school special, whatever. They have insurance on themselves. Well, not themselves, but the studios will insure their life so that in case something happens to them, they'll get some money. Yes, sir.
Excellent. We're going to wrap it up because we're right here at the time stop. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to The Pendulum. I'm your host, Dr. Samori Swygert. You will listen to Yolanda Spivey of Michael Whitney and Associates. Real quick, what's your website and how can they reach you?
Please reach me. They can call me, too, at 201-880-7179. Please reach me at M as in Mary, Whitney, mwhitney.com. And I'm on Facebook under Yolanda Spivey or Michael Whitney and Associates.
And I am out. I will see you next Wednesday at 8 p.m. on The Pendulum. Dr. Samori Swygert. Peace.